Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel for another iRacing video, and today we're back in the LMP, but we're in the LMP fix this time rather than any mixed class or any shenanigans like that. So we're at Sebring, which is a really good track for me to be at this week because we're prepping for the Sebring 6 hours next weekend's time. So yeah, saw this car track combo pop up and thought that's a really good series to be running. So we tried it last night. Got disqualified out of qualifying, and then had to start from the back of the grid and effectively kind of got brake checked a couple of times on the first lap. There was a guy in front, and you know, like I've said before, it's always the guy that runs into the back that's at fault, sort of thing, which, you know, I agree with. But there was a guy that had it chopped across my nose, like he was driving pretty aggressive basically, and yeah, just kept slamming on the brakes in an unexpected place really. So one of the times I went into the back of him and that took about 4 seconds a lap off my pace of my car. So anyway, that was a P last, so we're hoping for a bit of a better outcome this time. Qualified P10 with the 11 car. It's a really strong strength of field, and we actually have Bobby Trundley, who is a driver from the Brick Car series, the season just gone. And I looked at his profile just after the race as well. He is also going to be driving the British GT next season. So yeah, got a couple of strong drivers as well as at least one pro that we know of. Let's jump on in and see how we get on. So, we're here at Sebring LMP2 challenge. Qualified P10 out of 18. Probably going to be massively outranked and outpaced, but we'll do what we can to hold on. And we're running on bad luck and don't have fun. I can get behind that. Marginal gains kind of game. Let's burn some fuel off. Alright, so don't bottle it. Oh yeah, aim for a top 10, that'd be nice. Gonna try and play it safe through the opening couple of corners. It's normally a bit carnage in these.
Car is off, time to do your job. Green flag, green flag.
Oh, it's very tight in here. Yeah, this is horribly tight. Where the hell's the corner? There's 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright, we're alive. Give old mate space, hopefully he'll do the same. Okay, not dead. Sketch. Very sketch. Where the hell are the apexes? Can't see. No! God's sake! Not hit anything though, which is nice. Alright, still not last. Not had that swapper at that corner for many weeks, many weeks. Why did it have to happen now? Too tight on the inside left apex. It's happened before. I know what caused it. It's just annoying that it happened. I think I can still catch the guys ahead though. I can still get something out of it. Still aiming for a top 10. Where's he going? One in the wall. Oh Jesus, it's loose.
Well, that was interesting.
I couldn't force us to turn on then. The cars everywhere.
Alright, 13th.
It is what it is.
So loose on the back end. I wouldn't mind if it had been like that in the practice session or yesterday's race or whatever, but gets under my skin a wee bit when it's just completely different to everything you've been driving in previously. It's like, how are you supposed to know what car's underneath you if it's completely different? Track temp's the same. Obviously we're back on full fuel again, but... Alright, let's get their head down. Try and stay with these guys. Oh, Bobby sent a dive. Okay, still alive. So James Dawson's our target in P10 right now. That's who we want to be getting to, but he's starting to run away a wee bit. Bad run for Raymond there.
Still there.
I'm not going to pull back over too soon because I don't want to give him the draft. Alright, P12. Still losing rating as it stands. Sadness. Oh, I cut in too soon. Such a corner of millimetres is T1 here at Sebring. Too late you're in the gravel, too early you're in the wall. Alright, field is still pretty bunched up. I think we're just about leaving Raymond behind us. Concerned now that James and Bobby are released though that they're just going to pull away.
My way, looks a bit wonky. Looks fine. Trying to figure out what damage I'm doing for every corner. I think it's on the front right, you've got the damage. That'll make some sense, not really turn left too long.
Alright, just outside a 2 second window. Looks like James has got damage then he's saying. So hopefully we'll patch him and catch him and pass him. I think I just said patch him. We'll sew him on our backpack and keep him there for longevity. Bobby's got far too much spare processing power for my liking, just casually chatting as he's racing along. I can never figure out how to make my push to talk work and chat at the same time while I'm racing. It's like brain's trying to do too many things.
Get the Sebring things, mate.
Now James has still got pace to be fair. He's not mega slow. Not considering that he moved across to let Bobby past anyway. That's a lap marker sadly. That was not the line. Bobby's caught P9 now, putting pressure on. Come on, let's get some. Still think P10 might be on the cards. Patrick in P9 looks a little bit off the pace. That was not the line through sunset. Too tight. I don't know what James was fretting about his damage, to be fair. Like, he's fast in a straight line. He seems to have downforce still. Oh god, we get the aero wash. Remember about the aero wash? Oh yeah. So 20-minute race. A couple of minutes away from halfway through. Wonder where we would have been without the spin. Can't remember what position we were in at that point, to be fair. I think we'd held our P10 from the start, I think, didn't we, when we spun? Oh, jeez Louise. Found this before in this series. I think one of the first weeks I ran it was at Laguna and got a pole and went all the way into the victory, because especially around Laguna they couldn't follow each other. The aero wash was just too bad. Just need to make sure I get a good run down this straight and see if I can get up alongside James and then Patrick later on in the race to make the pass, but it's so hard to follow through the corners. James has gone a bit deep. We'll be alongside him through T. In fact, he's let us go. Cheers, James. That makes T1 a little bit less understeery for us. So James isn't up for the fight. He thinks he's driving a wounded beast. So one position away from the top 10 target, which also gets us 6 I rating if we can make it there as well. And Patrick runs very deep. So Bobby caught Patrick really quick and passed him, but again, Patrick's not slow here. His quickest time's faster than mine. His last lap itself was quite slow. Maybe mistake induced. Oh god, like that. There's an awful slowdown as well out there if you go too wide. Still in the 1 second window though, so hopefully get a bit of a sniff of draft. Just past halfway through, so loads of time, loads of chances still to come. See what the lap times look like. 48.3 for me, 48.5 for Patrick. Still cutting in a bit too early into turn 1 there. James has fallen way back as well, so no pressure behind. So all about this fight for the top 10. Can we do it? $1 million question. Weird that Bobby seemed to get past Patrick fairly easily when it caught him as well, but now Patrick is hanging on really well. He's not pulling away whatsoever. Yeah, I'll give you $1 million if you get it right. It might be $1 million yen or Monopoly money. but if you get the guess right, you get $1 million. I think it's a fair deal. Patrick's gone wide. It'll give him a good run out, but we should close a bit. We do, about 3/10. Put us further in the slipstream. Isn't necessarily a good thing because we'll get more aero wash, but a sign that maybe he's getting to feel the pressure a bit. He chomped that curb a bit as well there. That's it upsets these cars. He's carrying good mid corner speed though. Well, that was nearly an auto. And away he scampers again. I thought I'd braked early for that corner to compensate for him slowing down, and he braked even earlier than I was expecting. Just outside the second window this time. Still got time. P1 is bloody miles away.
You're in the top 10.
I'm in the top 10. What? Who binned it? Patrick got a big bum slide going out of that turn. Just run really wide there. They'll struggle to get the power down as much because of it. 5 laps of fuel, about 3 laps left of the race. How close do I need to get before I can start giving him a flash and try and put him off a bit? Because what's the point driving a car with flashes if you don't just drive around the entire track flashing? Patrick's a bit wide there. Looks like he's gathered it up though still for a nice exit onto the straight here. Didn't lose too much time from it. Alright, 0.7 is across the line then. There's a wall there, damn. Fingers crossed, no damage. I'll be reflected in the lap time more than anything. Patrick a little bit wide at the hairpin again, so we follow him out there in sympathy. Bobby's now got past Bjorn as well, who has fallen back to our clutches quite a lot. Oh, and then tries a big lunge. And contact.
Car on your left. Clear on the left.
Well, that was great, wasn't it? And I'm fairly certain that will have caused damage. That was a very similar hit to what I had yesterday when I lost about 4 seconds a lap off my pace. Let's see if we can hold on for the remainder. That all got very messy very quickly with those two. Bjorn chucked an absolute dive in on Bobby and bottlenecked us all up. And then just, well, from where I was sitting at least, it looked like he then just turned into Patrick, who'd, to be fair, been fending me off really well for the entire race. Patrick's not even on the relative now, he's fallen that far down. So that's P8, we'll take it. Just got to keep it clean to the end now. Could have done without all the X's, but yeah, I don't know. So it looks like Bjorn's not catching on us whatsoever, but there's no way we're going to catch Bobby, especially with a potentially wounded car now. Especially taking lines like that. So I'll settle in tight for the last couple of laps, I reckon. It's probably, might be white flag this time, is it? No, white flag next time it'll be, I think. It is white flag this time, okay. So unless someone else bins it, falls off the road. P8. So stick around, we'll do the Kia next. Kia versus Cadillac at Oran Park.
You've got about 2 laps of fuel left.
And after all that, James has actually got back past Bjorn for a top 10 for himself as well, P9. I think the series is the production challenge as opposed to the production car challenge. All I know, well, I just searched for the track Oran Park because I can never remember the name of it. Here we go then, round Le Mans for the final time. Onto the straight. Winner's already checked out and is off the circuit. Oh dear. I'm just relieved that spin on the first lap didn't put us in the barrier, to be honest. It's been a fairly decent recovery drive. We didn't do a lot in terms of overtaking, but needed some level of consistency to get us to the end. P8, few I ratings and probably a safety rating loss. It was quite a bit of fun, to be honest. I like this series. It's nice to pitch yourself in a fixed series against other drivers, like, because you know everyone's on the same setup. It comes down to the Muppet behind the wheel as opposed to anything else. We'll take a P8, I reckon. Alright, I don't really know how to feel about that one, to be honest. Decent result, definitely decent result, but some contact along the way, and God, I hate dropping it on the first lap by myself. It's so frustrating. I know why it happened. I bobbled on that first inside curb, which isn't normally a problem, it settles itself down, but I also just clipped that inside curb on the second apex as well, and that was enough just to overload those right hand side tyres that were taking all the load, and around she went. So I got lucky, to be honest, to not have the race ended there, to have the car totaled and still have pace in it. So that's one fortunate thing, and obviously I was only there at the end because I sort of ran the consistent laps through the race. Looked at the crash again where I went into the guy, and you can sort of see on my pedal traces I come off the gas as I see that crash happening, but then I actually go back onto it, and I basically thought the car was going to slide further across and that there was going to be a gap open up. That's why I reapplied the throttle, which did happen, just didn't quite happen as soon as I'd expected it to. So yeah, a little bit of an error on my part. By the time I saw that the car, like the gap, wasn't going to be where I thought it was, tried to put on the brakes and steer into that gap, but all that happened was it locked up, and you know what happens when it locks up, just went in a straight line. So yeah, that wasn't ideal. It was a bit of a messy move anyway. The guy that I did go into sort of, it's tricky because should, I think it was Patrick, wasn't it? Should Patrick have had his nose in there? Maybe not, but it would have had to call that there was a car there, and he just chopped straight across to the apex. So tricky one really, all things considered, but yeah, I'm glad I survived it and managed to get a PA. It's a decent result in such a strong strength field, and you know, accidents do happen sometimes, and yeah, I don't know if I'd have not blipped back on the throttle like that if I'd have dodged it anyway. I feel like I'd probably still have had contact with one or both of them, so it is what it is. P8 will take it all the way, and we'll run on to the next one. So that's going to be everything for this one. Please give it a big thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and consider subscribing if you're new here and you've not done that already. Other than that, take it easy and look after yourself. I'll catch you in the next one.